everyone, I'm Aveline. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. No, I am not gonna stop showing my face to you guys. Too bad. You're gonna have to deal with it. But today we are building my third build in Horse Ranch. So this one, I believe, is actually the first one that I built. I could be wrong, so don't quote me on it, but I believe it's the first one that I started, which is probably why it's a little bit slower than the other two that I've shown already, even though it's built on a 30x20. Just bear with me, guys, okay? Just trying to get acquainted with everything in the game. But before we get started with that, I do want to say a massive thank you to the EA Creator Network for making this video possible, but also, even though the pack is currently available to you, this was recorded in early access, so I do have to mention that the software that you're seeing in the game, or the game right now, is not the final software. That's how I was supposed to say it, but I just failed. But it's not the final software, and it may be subject to change. It's also why it looks a little bit duller than usual, because I don't have my reshade on. So if you've been wondering about that, that's basically it. And also there's some watermark like floating around the screen, just ignore it, it's fine. But let's get started. So I am doing this voiceover super late, and I hope that I'm not annoying my upstairs neighbors, but I just came back from a concert like an hour ago or something, and I didn't manage to record this voiceover before going, because I had basically spent most of my day trying to buy 2 books for my friends, for 2 of my friends. So we are in the AM as of right now. It is what it is, but just don't, like, I look a little bit tired. It's fine. It's completely okay. I don't have to get up early in the morning. Let's just ignore it. We're just gonna do our voiceover. I totally have to get up early in the morning. I have to go to another concert. I'm living off of it though. Like, not living off of it. I'm thriving off. I wish. Could you imagine living off of going to concerts? Isn't that what a reviewer is doing? Anyway, maybe I should get a new job. That actually sounds pretty. I don't know what my reviews on concerts would just be like, the atmosphere was amazing, I loved it, every bit was awesome. Like, I would not be a good concert reviewer because I would just be thriving. My standards for concerts are very, very low. Anyway, but today we're building on a 30x20. This is built in, I'm going to take off my shoes because I'm going to make noise when I start moving around, as you do when you do voiceovers, but we're building in the lower right area of the map. Again, I have 4 houses in this area. I promise there's another house that I built in the town area, so I still got that to show you, but I built a lot in this area because I really liked it. So it's another one of those builds. I think this one is on the vineyard. Is it not that one? I'm pretty sure this is on the vineyard lots. Like, it's the actual, like, the lowest, or not the lowest, but the one in the right corner, lower right corner of the map, that lot. It's on, like, a slight hill, sort of, and, like, it's just super nice. The surrounding, like, I think this is the best lot in the game right now. Or not in the game, but in the pack. I think this is the best lot. I'm pretty sure that I'm disturbing my upstairs neighbors, but if I can't hear them talk super loudly, hopefully they can't hear me talk super loudly. But I also know that voiceovers are kind of different, because, like, I don't really think about how loudly I'm talking, so I don't know, we'll see. If I come home to an angry letter in my letterbox, I will know not to do voiceovers in the AM anymore. But we're just testing the waters here. I can hear they're not asleep, so hopefully we are good. But yeah, as for the build itself, just trying to explore the different swatches with all the items, because even though I had done my overview of the build by items before starting this build, you know, you can't really go through all the swatches while doing a video like that, so it was basically about seeing all the items in more detail without having to, like, hurry through everything. Overviews, you just kind of have to hurry a little bit, because otherwise you're going to stay there for a long time. So, or, like, the video will end up being very, very long. I think this is the lot, but now I'm starting to second guess myself. Maybe I should have checked before I started recording the video. This is the problem when you've recorded five builds in a row and you haven't done a voiceover for either of them. You start mixing them together and you can't remember where exactly you built it, who it's for, and so on and so on. I think, though, that this is the lot where the two girls are staying. I'm pretty sure they're together, but it doesn't say so. And there's 2 bedrooms in the house, but I'm pretty sure they're in a relationship, and I don't really understand the situation because of that. Like, I don't really know. In my head, they're together. Like, that's canon, but I don't actually fully know. Maybe I'm just, like, obsessed with pairing up people. That might be my thing. I read a lot of romance these days. It's a problem. Wait, does this mean if I start doing face cam more often like this, I can start showing off my books too? We're gonna save that for the other channel. Don't get stupid ideas. Wait, you can see my llama though. That's a Sims llama. Look how cute. I didn't get to show you my cottage living llama. I'm gonna show you that at some point. See, this is what we used to do when I streamed. I just can't make time for it. It doesn't work for me. Plus, I also can't sit down for that long these days because I have the back trouble, which is why I'm standing up when I'm doing my voiceovers. Otherwise, I would definitely be sitting down because it's a lot more comfortable. I move a lot less when I sit down. So, but anyway, can't actually remember who this house is for. Can't remember how many rooms there are in it, and I have not taken the screenshots yet, so I can't even keep track of the floor plan. Essentially, I'm not really here to help you out with this voiceover at all. I'm just here to talk to you while we're going through the build, and I get to re-experience everything because I can't remember building this at all. I built it like, no, I built it on the 5th of July, I think. So like, that's a long time ago. That's like, is that 17 days ago? Yeah, I built it 17 days ago. No wonder I can't, that's more than half a month. No wonder I can't remember what this is. This is kind of funny. I wonder if my neighbors think I'm just standing down here talking to myself right now, which I mean, sort of am, but in my head I'm also talking to you, but at the same time, like, I'm in my office alone. Like, the whole voiceover thing is kind of weird sometimes, and I could see that from my upstairs neighbor's point of view, most definitely, but it's fine. It's fine. We're just gonna stop thinking about it. It's just I can hear her walking around upstairs, and I'm like, Anyway, so, yeah, this house was, I will say, inspired by a house that I found on Pinterest. I made a lot of, like, not necessarily adjustments. I had to do something different with the roofing, I remember, but also I was definitely trying to get the correct, like, what was it? The whole, like, front terrace right here was made out of bricks, and I was definitely trying to recreate that part because I really liked how it looked with the otherwise very, like, white wood paneling that they were doing on the house. I added the bricks, or whatever you want to call that wallpaper on the right here. I added that myself. That was not a part of the house. The house was, like, completely wood paneling all around it, but I feel like adding different wallpapers to houses just adds a little bit like a flair or something, you know, like flair, like a flavor, a vibe. It does something, you know. It just adds like a. I do wonder if maybe I still actually have the build saved. Oh, I do not. Maybe I have it under my bookmarks. We're gonna go through my whole history right now on my computer, even though you cannot see it. Does anyone else like have bookmarks, like folders on their computers just saved with different builds or houses, I should say? I have the Barbie Ranch build right house. Stop calling them builds, that is so weird. But I have that saved right here. So I have some of the other ones, but I think this one might have been like one that I came across quickly on Pinterest actually, and then decided to just go for it because I thought it was cute. Yeah, I don't think I have it, unless it's hiding in this post. It's not that one. I have so many houses and so few lots in Chestnut Ridge that I can build on, that I can build these houses on because they're huge. Is it that one? No, it's not. Oh, that is cute. Anyway, we should not stand here and look at my, because you can't see them. I'm gonna keep that a secret so that it'll be up on the channel at some point, but no. I just remember having to do a little bit with the roofing on this one because it wasn't really possible. There is, or that's not this one. I had this like roofing situation with one of the builds that I'm gonna mention now because it's not this one, so I won't mention it on the build that it is, so you will not notice. But there was a little bit of an issue that I decided to just ignore, like we do not see. We're gonna pretend like this is not gonna be a problem, in real life at least, if it was raining. Like, there would definitely not be a roofing problem on this house if it was raining. It's not this one, but I remember one of the houses I had that I was just like, I don't know. Like, definitely not seeing it. So, yeah, we're just gonna, well, there's only 2 more left, so before, actually, no, I'm starting the 64 by 64 tomorrow, which I'm very excited for. Or not tomorrow, the day after tomorrow. For me, it'll be tomorrow for you. Alright, for the interior of this house, I was really set on trying to make the wallpapers play with each other somehow. So like, we're adding some white walls, we're adding some wood paneling as well, and then we're using this like, I don't actually know what I would call that, but the one you can see right there, yes, the like half wood paneling thing, we're using that a lot throughout the house, but it'll be like a mix of those 3 wallpapers. So I think I actually also ended up using not the new, this is not the first build that I did. It's the second one, isn't it? Man, I'm confused. Does it really matter though? Does it really matter? Because I remember thinking, okay, we can actually use other kitchen counters because these swatches did not work with the swatches that, like, the whole color scheme that I wanted to go for in the house. So I actually ended up using the industrial base game ones instead. You'll see that in a second. I just felt like, I feel like those fit farmhouses as well, as long as you don't go full in on industrial throughout the rest of the house. Unless that's the look you want to go for, then go ahead, you know, but I want everything just to kind of look a little bit like it's from the pack. But I do think that the base game industrial counters actually go pretty well with this kind of style. So we're doing a little bit of that, and you'll see that in just a second, because I'm like, this is not working out for me. Like, I don't like this colors. I don't like this whole color scheme that's going on here in the kitchen. It's like the whole, like, I think this countertop mixed with the color of the rest of the counter, it just didn't, the color combination just didn't work for me, even though it's the exact same as the floor and the walls that I'm going with. But like, it just got a bit annoying for some reason. Like, I can't put my finger on it. So I ended up changing it for this. And I do like the look of it. I rarely ever use these, but when building this, I only had access to Horse Ranch and also base game. So kind of have to play around with what you can. Otherwise, it probably would have, like, what you have access to, but otherwise it probably would have ended up going for something like cottage living, or didn't we get a kitchen set? Yes, we did. Or the, I can't remember what that kit was called. The one with the country kitchen kit. I feel like that one would probably also go well in this setting, but we're going for the industrial one because I only have base game. I actually forgot to mention that in the last two voiceovers, these builds that I've done, the ones where you can see the watermark floating around on the screen, that, sorry for making you aware of that if you were very good at ignoring it, but I can't take it back now. But for those 5 builds, I have actually only used Horse Ranch and base game. The rest that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna mix it up with the other packs, so just wanna give you guys a little bit of a heads up. But if you only have base game, or you have a limited amount of packs, and you do have, of course, base game, but also Horse Ranch, these builds do have only, like, you'll have everything that are in these builds, except for maybe if you're watching this far out in the future and you didn't get the early content, whatever that's called, the pre-order incentive or whatever, then just it won't be there. But I can't actually remember if I used any of those items. I was having so many issues with the sealing tool for the first like 2 or 3 builds that I was doing. I don't know. For some reason, my game doesn't want to, like, it doesn't want to spawn ceilings sometimes, and if I close down the game, the ceilings will be gone. Or, like, it does spawn ceilings, but it doesn't register that it spawns ceilings. Like, I don't know. It's super weird. That's a problem. It's like landscape, or not landscaping, terrain paint as well, disappearing. That happens sometimes. I have that glitch as well, but it's with ceilings. I don't know. So was having some difficulties with that because the ceiling tool on top of that is also new. So like, I'm not super familiar with it. It's super easy. Well, the whole concept is super easy. It's just when there's a glitch involved, it gets a little bit more complicated than that. But it's basically just like, also because I started out using it as like a whole room thing, which don't do that. I never use flooring like that either, with the whole like covering the whole room. I didn't even know that was a feature. I thought that was just how the ceiling tool was. And then I talked to Sam, hey Harry, and she was like, do you have the apply to the whole room thing activated? And I was like, what? Maybe. I'm a sucky builder when it comes down to it. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I literally just depend on people just randomly knowing the answer to the question that I'm not asking, you know? Like, I don't... It's fine. Everything works out in the end anyway. We're just trolling our way through various builds. Oh, have you guys noticed this lamp? You can't freely place it, which is why it's in the center of the bedside table. But usually if you place an item on top of a surface and then you move the surface, just like I'm doing right here, you move the surface and then take the item off the surface, the item will be like floating in the air. Actually, you don't have to move the surface first. It's just the way that I do it. It's the order that I do it. It doesn't work with a lamp. It floats, but it doesn't freely float. It only sticks to the grid in some weird way. So I don't know if they fixed that for the official release, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to ask them if they can fix it because I like to freely place my things. It makes me feel a little bit more free in my building or something. You know what I mean though? Like, you just have more freedom to place things when they're freely floating. So yeah, it's an annoying one for sure. But we'll see if we can make it work somehow. Maybe they fixed it already. I don't actually know. It just feels weird that it's the only item in the whole game that does that, at least from the ones that I've noticed or used. So I don't think it's on purpose, but I also don't know if it's necessarily a glitch per se. So anyway, I still can't remember how many bedrooms we're dealing with in this house. Oh, there's a nursery? Cool. Okay, so I think we have the parents' bedroom on the ground floor, and then there's literally one of each, a teen, a kid, and a baby. I forgot a toddler. I might have forgotten one of them. Yeah, well, now there's also babies and infants, so I suppose. Listen, when I had to make the nursery, first of all, there's like zero furniture for it, it's fine. But I was looking, I might have cut this out of the video, I was looking for the changing table for the longest time. It's from Growing Together, but I keep forgetting that changing diapers is not a base game thing, it's actually a Growing Together thing. It just doesn't make sense that there'd be infants, but you can't change the diapers on them. Like, I don't know, changing diapers is like such a big thing when it comes to babies and infants and even toddlers. So like, why would it not be a base game feature? Why would it not just be, why is it a Growing Together thing? I know someone has told me once that, well, it's a bonding thing, but it's just like feeding a kid. You have to do it. You have to change the diaper. Like, I don't get it. So in my head, it's very much still a base game feature, but it's actually not. It's super annoying. So I kept looking for it until I was like, wait a minute. That is not that. Yeah, that's Growing Together, isn't it? It's Growing Together. I think it's part of the reason as well is that the changing tables matches base game items. Like, it just hasn't dawned on me yet. I haven't caught up yet that it's not a base game thing. Except if it is, and I just couldn't find them, and now I've been standing here talking about it for like 2 minutes. That would be so awkward. But it would also be typical me, so like, you know, could happen. So I think this is actually the second build that I did. It's not the first one. Oh, I know which one is the first one. It looks very rustic, just like the others do. They all pretty much look the same. They're farmhouses. Yep. Except this one is like, it's a bit, I would say there's something a little bit different to it. The others are very much like very flat farmhouses. They're just close to being one-story farmhouses with like a little bit going on the second floor sometimes, with like a room under the roofing or something. Whereas this one is definitely like straight up two-story. That's what makes it stand out. It's a two-story. Yep. What a brilliant touch. It's super special. It's a two-story instead of a 1.5. I did it. Anyway, so backyard, very, very short amount of time spent on this. Didn't really have a lot of space. I think I talked about this in the last voiceover, but I feel like the lots in this world are very small. And I know that some people have been complaining about that. Honestly, it's not something that I thought about a lot while building, because if you look at the surroundings, like the whole, like around this lot, it looks like it belongs to the lot actually. So it looks like it's still their private property, if you will. So you basically have this like smaller space that you can build on, but there's a lot of free space surrounding the lot itself for the horse, for example, to run around. And I think I'm okay with that when it comes to the lots in this world specifically. I think I would get annoyed in the other ones, but because, you know, you have horses and they need to move and run around and stuff. That's not called running, but I do not know horse terms, so we're gonna go with it. Trot, is that what it's called? But because you have all the surrounding area, you don't have a lot of space to do backyard kind of stuff in, so that is something to take into consideration, but I honestly do not mind. But it does mean we have like room for a stable and then a little bit of extra. So I decided to place a fire pit for them. They also have a small dining area up here with the grill as well. And I think that is pretty much it. So yeah, we are at the end of the video in just about 20 seconds. Well, plus pictures for you guys, but not for me. So anyway, I hope you guys like this house. If you do, you can download it off the gallery. My ID is AvelineYT, and you can also find it under the hashtag Aveline or AvelineYT. And as always, the tray files can be found over on my Patreon, which will be linked to in the description box, as well as in the pinned comment, where you can also find a link to my booktube channel. So if you like to read as much as I do, come check it out. Have fun with us, nerd out about books and stuff. But that is all I got for you guys today. The other builds are up on the gallery as well now, and also on Patreon. So if you were interested in those, feel free to download them. But that's all I got. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to like and subscribe and all that good stuff. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye.
I can smell the pines when I let you in the doorway. Took the seat next to mine like you've been there before. I'm befriended and in illusion. I could never stand to lose you. I get by when you're at my side. I'm befriended and in illusion. At the end of my bed, in the palm tree lightning, it was nothing you did, I just felt my low lightning.